Hello there. Welcome to Boss Health Matters. Today is all about women's health. Women's health, I think, is one of the most important things out there. Why? Because if we're not taking care of women's health, we're not going to have any babies coming into the world to become, nice model citizens like us. So I think it's very important that we highlight women's health because we all come from a woman. So I think the best thing to do is understand the foundation and the roots. Like for me, I was born on Women's International Day from a woman at Women's College Hospital here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So I think I know the importance most of taking care of the woman's health. And one of the key things to taking care of women's health is right here, right? Is the pH. Why is the pH like one of the best things to take care of women's health? It's because most of the extra organs that women have over men, like the reproductive system, the breasts, they have a lot of tissue. So when the pH is low, between about 5 normally, you're not going to have as much tissue oxygen in the tissues. Why is that important? Well, tissue oxygen is going to help get rid of free radicals. It's like an antioxidant. So you really want to be between 6.4 and 7 pH. In order to get that, you have to measure, right? So if you're just waiting to go to the doctors and do your test once a year, that's why you mostly have issues in between. So it's best to check at the beginning every 3 days for 2 weeks. If it's good, then once a month or whenever something comes up. But if you're at a 5, most people are at a 5, and you want to get to 6.4, if you achieve that, that's 140-fold increase in tissue oxygen. So each step is going to bring you up, tenfold. So it's highly important that we incorporate these things at home. And if you are low, how do you bring up the pH? Well, to bring up the pH, all you need to do is contact me or just go to vibrateplus.com and register to be my client. And this will boost up your pH almost instantly. If you have kidney problems, contact me directly. I'll probably put you on with something else. But yeah, it's very highly suggested from the Quantum Health Boss that we be checking our pH, and we also boost it if it's low, because when we boost it, we're going to definitely feel a lot better. And I think another thing that is very important when it comes to women's health, with all the stressors and stuff that's going on these days, is we have to be taking care of our hormones. Our hormones get out of whack. We have babies, all these types of things, even from a young girl. Like, I see a lot of young girls developing early, maybe because of things in their environment. So I think it's very important to take care of it. I'm going to bring on one of my guests here, and I think she knows a little bit about hormones here. So let's see what she has to say.
Hey, how are
Hey
y'all
there,
doing? Hey,
how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are y'all doing?
Very blessed. Very blessed.
Good.
I was just telling the audience that women's health is very important to me because I was born from a woman, and if we're not taking care of women's health, we're not going to have more, men like me running around, or nice little women becoming model citizens, right? And
Correct.
I was actually born on Women's International Day in Women's College Hospital. So, I thought it was very fitting for Women's Month to highlight women and give them, good tips. But I saw you on Facebook and I've seen your story, and I love for you to share and see if we can help some women today.
Oh, most definitely. Well, I'd say about a year and a half ago, I was introduced to a product called Slenderize. A lot of people call it skinny drops or body balancing drops. They help support thyroid. They help balance hormones. They help stabilize blood sugar. And along with that, the side effect has been weight loss. And it's been really great product. I've kind of gotten to a point where my weight is pretty stable. I lost about close to 15 pounds to begin with, and kind of got off the drops, and I let stress in life get in my way again, and I did gain some weight back, and I've gotten back on them. And for the last 3 weeks, I'm down almost 5 pounds again. But they've done amazing as far as my balance in the hormones, because I'm in perimenopause and have been for a while. But these drops have stopped my hot flashes and night sweats. And you take them 3 times a day. They're all natural, homeopathic. They're sublingual, so they go under the tongue. And they are amazing. Bottle one is the purpose of it is to help reduce hunger, reduce cravings. Of course, we want you to go by a low glycemic diet. I mean, no one's going to feel great and healthy eating Snickers and drinking Dr. Peppers. I mean, that's just life. So I really, my people that I've helped, I work with them to get them on a low glycemic diet and get them back to reducing those cravings where they don't crave that sugar and those carbs. Bottle one is great for that. In bottle one, you're going to take 10 minutes before you get ready to eat. You put those on about 13 drops under the tongue, and you hold them for 30 seconds to a minute, and then you swallow. After a minute, they kind of lose their effect on how they're absorbed anyway. And then you wait 10 minutes, and then you'll do bottle two, which I think I got right here. It's Accelerate. Yes. And it is an all-natural B12 complex with ashwagandha and rhodiola. This one is amazing for the hormones. And if you have cortisol stressors like I do, I mean, my cortisol, if I did a saliva test today, it's probably still high. But it is getting better. But I'm super high on cortisol, always have been. So that's been my battle. This has helped bring me back down. And when I'm on this and taking this bottle right here, I've noticed a huge difference. My mood's better. I sleep better. I have more energy throughout the day, and it's a clean energy. It's not jittery. You can get rid of that brain fog, especially the women that are, 40s, 50s, when you're going through that perimenopause and the menopause, everything is, you think you're going crazy, and it's,
Wow.
the hormones are wild. But also, I've had a lot of people, and myself included, with joint pain, and people associate it with arthritis. And a lot of times with women in their 40s and 50s, it's not arthritis, it is hormones. And I've had several that said once they've started these drops, their joint pain diminished and they can get out and do things. But this one is, you'll shake it up, and it's 1 full ml. It's a darker color. The first bottle's clear, but this one's dark. And just like the first bottle, You'll hold that under your tongue 30 seconds to a minute, then swallow. Then you can go ahead and eat. And I tell people, if you're doing intermittent fasting or you don't eat a breakfast or don't eat lunch, go ahead and take them. This bottle, though, bottle 2, is twice a day. I don't recommend taking it like after 4 o'clock in the afternoon because of the B12. It just gives you that little extra go. And some people, it's going to keep you up, just keep you awake. But I'm not B12 sensitive, and so I can take this and go to bed. But so yeah, my B12, even taking this, is still, it's not high at all. My B12 runs kind of medium to low even on that. So I know I'm not B12 sensitive, so I can take that. But they have just been amazing, and the stories, even customers that aren't my customers that I've met through our events or our meetings that we have, listening to them talk about how this has changed their life. I'm knowing ladies to get off of antidepressants. I've known people that their blood pressure medicine's been cut in half.
What brought you to getting on these skinny drops?
Actually, I had a friend that had started them, and I had seen her, and she invited me to a meeting, and I was like, well, not right now. So she invited me to the next one, and I went, and I was like, I said, I'm going to look these up and she knew that I've always been big into health and nutrition. So and my point was I was in perimenopause. I knew I had been. I'd been eating clean. I got rid of all processed foods and sugars out of my diet. And I run, I work out, I have horses. I'm very active. I don't really sit down a whole lot. And when I do, it's just because I'm going to bed to go to sleep. So I'm a very busy person, and I like staying active, but I could not lose any weight. And my insulin level was saying I was fine, that I wasn't insulin resistant, but my body says I'm insulin resistant. And I knew that was part of me with my perimenopause and just the weight in my belly, which is common for a lot of women. And we just can't get rid of it. We get frustrated and we just think this is how it's supposed to be, but it's not. It's our diet. I know, like in Europe, they're a lot more strict on what goes in their foods and what they can sell. As here in America, we're just like, there's so much junk in our food that unless you grow your own and get organic, you don't know what you're getting here sometimes. And so I'm very particular. And I tell people that I'm like, it is definitely a lifestyle change. It's not going to be a diet. You have to change your lifestyle. Yeah. You have to learn to on the nutrition, cellular end of nutrition, and start going from there. But this, when I was introduced to it, the first week I lost 5 pounds. And I'm sure most of it was water weight from hormones.
Yeah.
But my sleep, and for those ladies that have hot flashes and night sweats, mine, within 3 days, my night sweats were gone. And it was absolutely amazing. I've had people that have had A1Cs that have been in the high 6s, low 7s, go back down to like 5.4, 5.2 on their A1Cs. Wow. So it is, yeah.
Well, we'll just put our disclaimers that we're not diagnosing, we're not treating, we're not curing or preventing any disease. But we have testimonials, and like I just started to take this product just after Christmas, and I lost easily about almost 12 pounds in the first week. Doing a little bit of fasting, and I was very surprised. Maybe when I do my review next week, we can see exactly where we're at. But I highly suggest that if you don't feel comfortable talking with me and you want to talk to a lady, Tracy, how can people get in touch with you?
They can follow me on Facebook. I can put my Facebook in there. They can contact me. I'll put my phone number in. They can send me a text message if they like. I'll be
And
glad to
and
do that.
if anybody does have any questions, sometimes Facebook might not show me your questions. Right at the bottom of the screen, you can actually come on live. You don't have to put your name or your picture, but you can come on live and either type in your question, or I can bring you on if you have any questions for Tracy or for me. Definitely, we want to help you if you have any hormone issues, thyroid, want to lose a little extra pounds. But I want to ask you one question though, because I've been seeing this Advantage.
Yes,
Well,
that is.
how does that work with the drops?
It is, you can actually do it by itself or with the drops. I've been doing it with the drops. It is one of our new products from Collab, part of our line. And it has the grain of paradise that is found in Africa, which is a natural thermogenic, but it's not a stimulant thermogenic. I'll be 54 this year. So back in my 20s, thermogenics were the big thing when I was working out of the gym. You wanted to get hot, you want to feel that burn, that thermogenic, but it was a stimulant. So it was really not good for, it's not good for you, that kind of stimulant. But it's stimulant free, but the grains of paradise have that effect. They're a natural thermogenic. So when you take it twice a day with food. I tell people that I don't recommend taking that after 4 o'clock, because the first time I took it, I didn't know, and I was all excited, and I was like, well, I'm going to start tonight. Well, I started at 6:30, and I was very alert, and I thought, I could probably clean my whole house and be awake till 1 o'clock in the morning. So I thought, yeah, I told people, I'm like, I take it in the morning with my breakfast, and then I take it at lunch. And it actually increases your metabolism 10 times. So they say an average of an extra 97 calories a day is burned just from taking it. I've been doing a 28-day challenge with that to see how this is doing, because it is a new product. And they did a clinical trial within the company, and the results have been nothing but positive. And I haven't posted it on my Facebook page today, but there is I have lost another half inch off my waist and another inch off my hips. I am down another 2.6 pounds since last week, and everything has stayed the same because I eat clean. My weight had actually kind of stabilized. I was like, I still just got that little bit of fluff in the center that I want to get rid of, and it activates the brown fat that located through our spine, and that's what that Advantage does. It helps activate that brown fat, and in turn it gets that thermogenic effect going in us. It helps get rid of visceral fat, and that's the bad fat around your organs that we don't want. It increases cardiovascular risk, kidney disease, diabetes. So you want that gone. And from the trials they did, we had 2 weeks ago, I believe we were in Destin, Florida for an event. And that's when they introduced the product out through the company, and the results from the people taking it have just been absolutely it's crazy how well it works. But like I said, you can take it by itself, or you can take it with the drops. And I have been doing it with the drops.
So I think one of the biggest things that us professionals deal with is skeptical people, right?
Right. Definitely.
There's a lot of products out there on the market, and there's a lot of how could I say this, scammers out there, right? What's one thing that you can say to maybe put that to rest with our products?
Well, with our products here, we got 13 verifications. We're certified clean, vegan. Um, we do here in the U.S., because they are based out of Utah, we make the FDA test our products. Over the counter wellness products are not FDA approved here. But what we do is we run our products through FDA registered facility, meaning that when our products are tested through that facility, the FDA has to say, yes, that is what you're saying is in your product, is in your product. There are no fillers. Our capsules for products that are capsules are all vegan capsules, so they dissolve. If you can't swallow capsules, those you can pull apart and use the powder out of them, because I know there are people that can't dissolve capsules.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we have our own team of doctors, and the products are, top quality. You're not going to get them over the counter, and they always test them. They keep them tested. If we get a product, an ingredient in for our product and it doesn't meet their standards, they will not use it. They will send it back and they will get new ingredient for that product. They are very strict. Okay, and we're that way because we want our products to be clean. We want them to be what we say they are. And we're joining this company. I researched it beforehand. I researched their products, but I'm very big in the nutrition. Like I said, these products have just been amazing. They're just a game changer for me. And I've loved helping people get their results off of them and showing them how they work with proper diet and nutrition. And like I said, we don't claim to cure or diagnose anything, but they do help.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And as I said, you can always go to balancedrops.com. If you want to talk to Tracy and get them from her, just go to her social media. But we're both on the same team, and we're here to help you achieve your goals. Thank you for coming out. If you want to stay, because I have another guest coming on.
Okay.
And she's going to be doing some breathing, because I think, number one, me being an energy practitioner, biofeedback practitioner, I see that a lot of people are not getting enough oxygen in their body. And she's a breath coach and much, much more. And she's going to be coming on. So if you can stay to the end, if there's any questions, we'll put them on, but definitely worth checking to see you around.
Okay.
Tara, are you there?
I am there, or I'm here rather, but I don't see myself. Am I on?
I don't know if
Let's see. How do I adjust this?
Maybe you might have to go into your settings and check the camera. If that doesn't work, you might have to go out and then come back in.
Okay, I'm thinking I might need to do that. Let me.
All right. While she's doing that, thank Tracy for coming out. And if you have any questions, it's not too late. You just can come on to the StreamYard link here and put in your questions in the chat. I put them in. Here she is.
Okay. Hi.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Oh, you too. How are you?
All right. How was church this morning?
It was good. My church is at the yoga studio. So
cool.
Yeah, and it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, the reason I wanted to bring you on my show is when I'm scanning people with my biofeedback technology, I'm seeing that they don't have enough oxygen in their body. For me, I was in pain for over 30 years, almost 30 years, seeing over 30 specialists. But when I saw my professor, it said the same thing about me too. Mm. So I think it's a very big problem that we're looking at each other thinking that because the eyes are moving and you're blinking and the chest is going boom, 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 that everything is okay. But I think I know a little bit different now. I'd love to hear your perspective.
So what is the question is about how much oxygen we have, or
I would say, because today's topic is about women's health. So if we already identified that the body's not having enough oxygen and we're already breathing, how can we fix that with proper breathing?
Breathing efficiency. Yeah. I mean, I think in general, most people are walking around breathing inefficiently. Interesting topic, because we just had a training at the yoga studio where I teach, and we had a woman who is a professor of anatomy, and that was the large part of the topic of discussion was efficiency in breath and how we are paying attention to the use of our diaphragm and belly breathing and all the things. So yeah, most of us are walking around breathing inefficiently, which is typically because we are walking around in fight, flight, or freeze mode, and walking around in this very sympathetic, heightened state of being. And then most of us are breathing into our chest fully and not kind of taking those full diaphragmatic breaths. And we're breathing in through our mouth rather than our nose, right? So when I talk to clients and say, hey, what happens to you when you start to feel stressed all of a sudden? We kind of like start panting like a dog, almost like open mouth breath. And when we're breathing in through our mouths as opposed to our nose, we're actually getting about 20% less oxygen to the brain. So, if we're just talking about oxygen in and of itself, we're getting around 20% less oxygen when we're not breathing efficiently.
Wow.
Effectively, right?
That's a lot, because I mean, there's a lot of organs in the body that need oxygen. If you're losing 20%, I mean, not that much to go around.
Yeah. So if you think about that on the daily, right, and even just sleeping, right, think about how many people are mouth breathers when they're sleeping. So for those 6, 7, 8, 9 hours that you're sleeping, if you're breathing in through your mouth instead of your nose while you're sleeping, that's X amount of hours of not getting proper oxygen to not just your brain, but like you said, like all the other organs in the body. And we have to have that oxygen moving through the body properly for all of our organs to operate properly. And as I'm like thinking out loud, and I know we're talking about women's health, but I just think about, all the different diagnoses with ADD and all of these things. And it's like, if we are not breathing properly, our brain is not able to function properly. Therefore, all these other things.
Oh yeah, 100%, definitely. And I think one of the biggest things is that it's not really talked about when you go to the doctor's office. I mean, unless you have asthma and they prescribe you a puffer or something like that. I've been to counseling before and seen a counselor, and no one's ever really talked to me about controlling my breathing to get control of my thoughts and to maybe have a better outcome. But I think when I think about women's health, because my mom basically raised 2 kids with absentee fathers, and it's pretty stressful, and anxiety, depression, I'm pretty sure are something that's very easily can take hold, especially when you're the sole provider, right? I know you only you deal with breath work, but what else do you do? I mean, your company, I think it's a Collective Shift. So what else do you do at Collective Shift that could help women?
So I think, Collective Shift for me, when I came up with that name, because the company's actually gone through 3 different name changes, but I think we've settled on this one. And for me, Collective Shift is this reference to when we breathe, right? Breath work is the anchor of everything that we do. So when we are able to shift our breath we're then able to shift the collective. It's like this ripple effect. And so when we are speaking about focusing on our breath and breathing properly, and I also do movement and gut health, and that's another piece. It's all connected. You can't have one without the other. So I connect the breath to the gut health, to the mental health, to the movement. But this idea of when we're shifting our own nervous system and hormone health with our breath, we're not just shifting ourselves, we're shifting everyone around us. And I know the woman who spoke previously, a lot of hormone talk. When we talk about our hormones, they're in our gut, and our gut is connected to our brain by way of the vagus nerve. And if our vagus nerve doesn't have strength, that affects a whole lot of things. And so there's a book by the holistic psychologist, and she has this quote in the book about breath work where she states, breath work is like planks for your vagus nerve. So it's just like going to the gym. Breath work strengthens and tones your vagus nerve. And when you have strong vagal tone, the communication between your stress hormones in your gut up to your brain is effective communication. So everything is connected. So when we speak about females and female health and hormonal health and single mothers, or, women working 2 jobs or whatever it is, breath work is this beautiful practice that allows us to control that communication, between the gut and the brain and those stress hormones.
Cool. That sounds so cool. And it's kind of like almost free advice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because once you learn how to do it properly, it's not like you have to keep on calling us and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But do you have any programs going on right now that either men or women could join up right now, or is it something that's starting soon? And how
Yeah.
can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. Everything's always pretty rotating. I mean, I'm local to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, so I locally offer in-person classes. So there's classes every week. I have a couple workshops coming up in the immediate area. And then I also do virtual breath work. So, I have clients in California and Colorado, so we can do breath work virtually, so like one-on-one sessions are always available. I do have breathwork training now. So I've created my own curriculum for breathwork training. So there will be another breathwork training coming up soon. And I've just opened up a new kind of one-on-one mentorship program. So for anyone who might be interested in becoming a breathwork facilitator, that is now available as well. And I have some retreats. So there's a whole bunch of things. And I like to say everything's kind of always rotating. It's like this revolving door, so and I'm also really open to co-creating things. So I have people that reach out that need something that I'm not necessarily offering yet, and I will create that. So in person in the Delaware area, virtually, it's always available for one-on-one or workshops. I also do workshops and events for businesses where I can come on and do more of an educational workshop to kind of talk about breathwork and stress management and how that can be integrated into the workspace. So I'm pretty on Facebook quite a bit. I'm pretty active on Facebook and Instagram under Collective Shift. My website is really easy, collectiveshift.com. That's a really easy way to reach out via the contact form there.
And I do have it in the comments, and when everything is set out to the World Wide Web, I make sure that everybody has everybody's contact information. Is there anything, a quick breathwork session that maybe a mom that's dealing with a crying baby can do if maybe she's dealing with a little postpartum, or maybe a mom has a child with ADHD that they need to get calmed down? Maybe a quick 10 or 30-second thing that you can teach us.
Yeah. 4-7-8 is probably one of my favorite breathing techniques. It's super easy. And like you said, the beauty about breath is that it is free. I mean, you can hire me and you can pay me to teach you breath work. And it's kind of like yoga. Once you learn it, you can do it on your own, but it's always nice to have a guide too. But it is free. So 4, 7, 8 is a really beautiful grounding, calming breathing technique. And the way that is performed is it could be seated, it could be standing, it can be lying down. There are certain breathing techniques for safety reasons that you would not want to be standing, but this is a really nice, easy one. So 4, 7, 8 is breathing in through the nose for a nice count of 4, breathing into the belly, and then the lungs, and then holding your breath at the top for a count of 7, and then taking a nice 8 count exhale through a little space between the lips. So just inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. And for a breathing technique like that, if you're doing it in real time when you are actually stressed out, 1, 2, 3 times max, you could do it up to 5 minutes. But that's the other beautiful, powerful thing about breath. It can literally relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, bring your nervous system back into this really calm state in a matter of 30 seconds. So 4, 7, 8 is a really nice, easy one to try.
Thank you. And I'm just going to bring Tracy on here. And if I can figure out how to do all of this.
There we are.
Hold on, I got to get rid of this.
I'm like on 2 screens. There we go.
There we go. Still trying to figure out all this technology, but I don't see too many questions on here. I don't know if you have a question for Tara, Tracy, or otherwise. But yeah, I definitely appreciate you guys coming on, and I want to wish you guys on next Saturday a happy Women's International Day when it comes, and definitely a blessed week. But is there anything that you want to add, or some sort of inspiration that we can give the ladies for the day, for the week?
I would just say, believe in yourself that you can do it. I mean, if you're just starting your journey to get back to better health, to get back to you, because you got to take care of you, especially if you have a family. You've got aging parents that you got to take care of. You got babies that you got to take care of. You've got to make time for yourself, so you have that time to take care of it. You got to take care of yourself. I mean, that's all I can. Just to help everybody else, you still got to help yourself first, so you can achieve that, be able to help everybody.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah. And I would kind of tag along with that, right? One of my favorite quotes that I think I came up with, I don't really know, but I always just say, how you breathe is how you live. And so when we're able to tap into our breath and breathe efficiently and breathe deep, right? You breathe deep, you breathe slow, you breathe connected. And then, like I said earlier, we create that collective shift. So similar to what Tracy said, we have to tap into ourselves first in our own breath. And then when we make those shifts within ourselves, then those shifts create this ripple effect to everyone around us.
Cool. And I just got to say, thanks for coming out, and stay tuned for the next show. But I really want to make sure that you know that you're the boss. You might not think that you're the boss, but that's the reason of the show. Boss Health Matters. When you take charge of your health, we can put everything together. And we like to do it naturally and holistically here, so we can decode and answer your questions. But we want to reel in anything that's going on that we know of, don't know of, so we can live to the best of our ability. 120 and beyond, baby. All right, guys. I hope to see you on again soon. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.